Hello.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Failed Swimmer podcast. My name is Isaiah, of course, and today we brought back the most insanely talented fashion designer I know personally. And that is Allusion. Welcome
Thank
back
you.
to the podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I don't know. My sleep schedule's been all over the place. So honestly, I woke up at 12. These two
Yeah.
hours have been good.
I remember like when the quarantine first started, my sleep schedule was did not sleep at all.
Hmm.
So I would just sleep through days without sleeping, and then I'd be like, "Oh, I'm tired now. Let me go to bed." And then I would sleep for a couple hours and be like, "Okay, I'm refreshed. Let me continue on with the day." But it's gotten
Honestly,
better from yeah, it's gotten better from that. I think I wake up pretty early now, back at like school schedule type shit. But
damn.
whatever.
I got it regular and something happened. So I'm just going with the flow.
Something happened.
Something
You're just
happened.
like,
One night I was just like, can't sleep at 10 like I've been sleeping. Because I was sleeping at 10 and waking up at like 7, 8, and it was pretty good. And then just went
yeah.
downhill.
It's always that one fucking night where you're just like, huh, well, maybe I should watch something on Netflix, and then you watch that entire series or some shit, and then you're just
Binge
like,
that
oh,
shit.
well, now I need to watch something else, and then it keeps like going on. It's fucking crazy. There's like never a fucking ending. But anyways, I finished this movie called Uncut Gems
Oh,
recently,
shoot.
like literally like an hour ago. That movie's fucking crazy. I'm not gonna spoil it for the audience, but if you have Netflix,
Hmm.
literally go fucking watch that movie. It's absolutely insane.
Damn,
As
okay.
Adam Sandler, and it's a dramatic movie. It's like his first dramatic movie that he's done.
I didn't
But
even
yeah,
know that
that
was
shit.
on Netflix. Hold on.
I think they just added it recently. But yeah, it's crazy. I watched Moonlight as
Oh my
well.
gosh, I saw that. And I was like, yes. Fuck yeah.
Oh my God.
Everybody needs to
Moonlight's
watch
so
that.
fucking good,
Ugh.
bro. It was so sad because I could relate to like the childhood shit.
Hmm.
And I was like, "Oh my God.
I felt
That's
that
literally
so
what
hard.
fucking happened to me." Like I wasn't living in the fucking projects,
Yeah.
but
There were
I was
some
I
things
was
that
like,
didn't line up, but like for the majority of it,
yeah.
that was
Yeah, that
crazy.
shit. I don't know. I felt so alienated, but I
Hmm.
felt like, oh shit, this actually like it's part of my life. I don't know. It's such a weird feeling,
That's the
but
only
I
time I
think
like felt that deeply. That and like in Euphoria, certain parts of it.
I still even haven't watched Euphoria because I don't have HBO.
God
But
damn. Once you get that
yeah,
HBO, it's over. You got to.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to watch Euphoria, and I'm gonna have to watch Game of Thrones because
Yeah.
that's the main thing you have to watch on HBO apparently. But
Apparently.
apparently, but I guess I'm just gonna keep watching A24 movies because they're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I know there's like a one with Willem Dafoe and some other guy, and it's called The Lighthouse, and they said that shit was really fucking weird, so
Oh shoot.
probably watch that next. But yeah. So besides waking up at whatever, what have you been doing in quarantine to keep you somewhat sane?
Oh shoot. Okay, so ah ah losing my grip a little, but the things that I've been like mostly doing, um before like you commissioned me, I was just like trying to sew things at least
Yeah.
like 2 days in a week. And now I pretty much finished your piece last night. Like
Oh, really?
for the most part, I'm just gonna do a couple details, but like
Yeah. So
that's
so
how I used it.
if you guys don't know, I commissioned her to do a clothing piece for me, and yeah, she's been doing that for what, like 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, like around 2 weeks. So I'm excited to see the final product. I told her to surprise me, so I have no idea what it looks like. I joined her live on Instagram and I saw one piece of fabric, and that's literally all I saw. So I'm excited to see, and I'll be rocking that shit whenever we go back.
Literally, it's
Hopefully,
like
senior
something
year.
I've never done before because I don't know. I just used different parts of what I already knew and then what I didn't fucking know and just went along with it.
So this
But
is like a brand new experience for you.
yeah,
That's fucking tight. I'll make sure to model it so you know, you can get your fucking followers up, get your experience up and all that shit. But yeah, I don't know. I've been talking to like way more people, I think, throughout this quarantine.
yeah. In this quarantine, I've like found out who's my closest friends and like met so many new people along the way, which like
Yeah.
I'm super thankful for.
Yeah, in some ways I think quarantine is like the worst shit
Yeah.
because especially at my fucking job, we're
Oh,
having to wear masks and we're getting yelled at by customers for making food, and it's just like I don't know. That's the worst shit. But also I'm finally discovering like who I truly want to be around and what the future is going to be like for me, what job I'm going to eventually end up getting and shit like that.
yeah.
So I think it's pretty much just extra time to take care of yourself and just like truly just stop fucking around and actually take charge.
Honestly, like there's some awful parts of it. Like, I don't know. My friends who've been texting me about how bad it is, like, it basically sums up to isolation bad for human. And yes,
Yeah,
like, it's
yeah,
so fucking awful, especially when you're not connecting with those friends because, like, they're essential workers or whatever. And, like,
yeah,
by the time they're available, they're, like, fucking napping because they deserve it. But, like,
yeah. I mean, I
ugh,
occasionally take naps, but yeah, sometimes I'm just so fucking tired. Like since I'm dealing with this illness, I'm high risk as well
yeah.
going into work, but I still need fucking some sort of cash, so I'm still going in. Which
That
is
one
it's
picture of you, I was
yeah,
just like, well, he going
bro.
out in style.
Yeah, they got us like masks. Like our colors for our restaurant is like red and black,
Hmm.
and they got us these masks that are red and white, and they're kind of dripping though. They're kind of drippy, but like they're not comfortable to wear with the glasses. Like I need to
Oh
see,
yeah,
and I keep breathing, and it's just like, oh yeah, well if you need to wear this mask, but it's gonna fog up your glasses every fucking time you breathe. So
that's so fucking annoying.
I heard there's like this some sort of fucking product that's like you can spray on your glasses and it won't fog up. I was like,
What?
I probably will need to get that because I literally I was like hyperventilating while wearing the
Hmm.
fucking mask because it's so hot in the mask. There's no filters. It's just a mask to keep away whatever. I might just have to
No.
bring like an actual like filtered mask, but even then it's still it's not pretty. Like it's
Yeah.
not like a thing that's gonna be like, oh well, you know. It's just like I have to fucking deal with it, but whatever. But yeah, I've been talking to some people. I plan on hanging out with the most people I've ever hung out with this week. Surprisingly, and that's only two people in my entire life, and that's like I've literally never hung out with someone like really ever. Like we never truly had a hangout until like this year, which is
What?
fucked up. Yeah, and like I remember as a child, I used to have like slumber parties or whatever the fuck. And then like one slumber party I had, I was still in my hometown, and I woke up the morning. He's like, "Yo, dude, you gotta watch this video." And I don't know if you know this video. It's the one where the car is going down the mountain, like it's really tranquil, and then the car is
Oh,
going down, and then the fucking monster pops up.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that I was a kid, all right, and I was like,
Hmm.
"Oh, what's this? It looks really nice." All of a sudden, that monster pops onto the fucking screen. I start crying. I start
What the
fucking
fuck?
crying because I was like, "What the fuck is this?" So I end up literally walking home because I was so sad. I was just
Nah.
in tears, and I don't know what my like. I think when I came home, my mom was awake, but it was like early in the morning,
Hmm.
and I was done. I was like, I can't. Like the one time I hang out with someone and they fucking do that shit to me, I was like, oh shit. But yeah, that was like that was like the breaking point. That's
That, man.
I never hung out with anyone up until recently. So yeah, I think I
I
missed out a
can't with
lot.
that. That's
Yeah,
emotionally draining.
yeah.
You're like, I trusted you.
That's pretty much how it goes my entire fucking life. I was like, I trusted you, and then they like fuck me over. But that's some
Yeah.
serious shit. Yeah, that's just what I've dealt with my entire life. I was talking to someone recently about it, and I was literally talking for like an hour straight, and I mentioned what I could remember of my past, and I mentioned that I people watch like whenever I'm at school, and like I pay
Hmm.
attention and like observe their qualities and like what they do. And I told her, yeah, I used to people watch you, and I told her all this shit about herself, and then she started crying because no one has ever
Oh,
told her that, and no one like ever could see that, and she was like in a lot of pain that year. And I was like, yeah, I noticed that, and no one was literally fucking helping you. That was like the worst shit, and I wanted to talk to you, but I don't think it was the right time. And she was like, wow, that's fucking crazy.
damn.
But being by myself, even though I wish I had those opportunities where I had friends where I could like sleep over or just even talk to, but having the experience where I was alone and like
Hmm.
just literally by myself 24/7, I started being able to notice exactly how people work, and especially being at the doctors literally my entire fucking life. Like I've been to like over 100 doctors my entire fucking life, and you know that coupled with just years and years of experience with people and how they act, I think I can pretty much analyze people just based on how they fucking blink or how they talk or how they like walk, how they like do certain like it's fucking crazy. But now that people are asking like, "Yo, you people watch, can you do this shit for me? Like, can you analyze this person?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure." And like, it's just fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, but I used to like as a kid, I always wanted. I don't even think I even wanted. I think it was just more of like the loneliness, you
Yeah.
know. I was talking to my grandma about it, and she always said like, "Oh, you seem like a very happy kid, and like you didn't really cause any trouble." And I was like, "Yeah, I know I didn't cause trouble, but you know,
Ooh.
never noticed like what I was doing." Like I was literally just sitting down and watching television for like literally my entire childhood. So the one thing I really connect with is
They always
cartoons.
say that about like the lonely kids. Like they were probably a happy kid.
Yeah, I mean, she like even my mom tells me as a baby, I didn't even cry.
God
Like
damn.
that, and if I cried, it was literally for like the most necessary thing,
Hmm.
you know. But even then, like I was like one of the most like stable children, I think. And when I see like all these children now, I'm just like, holy fuck. How do parents deal with these kids? Like they're like on leashes and shit. I've never seen that shit before until I moved up here. I saw kids on leashes, bro. Like, what is that?
Bruh.
I used to wander
I
the
like
fucking grocery store by myself as a kid.
I can't.
Like, what?
I can't.
Like, is that shit down in our hometown too? The
I
leashes? Have you seen that shit?
like
Like
I
the little
don't
monkey leashes?
I haven't seen that inside of our town. Like I believe I've only seen that like other places.
Holy fuck. That's like,
Have your kid on a leash.
if I ever do that shit, like, I'm probably gonna get canceled on Twitter or some shit. Be like, why is your kid on a leash? That's against what? I don't know. My wife made me do it. I don't know, but
Ew. You got that kid on a harness.
yeah, bro. Have you seen this, Sean? Are you in tune with Twitter culture? Have you seen this shit? Doja Cat
No.
and Lana Del Rey and like all this shit.
Oh, yeah.
Doja Cat said the hard R N word, and everyone's canceling her because she's not taking her race seriously or whatever the fuck. She doesn't.
Mhm.
She's like appealing to the whites. That's literally what Twitter's canceling her over. And then Lana Del Rey was like slut shaming or something like that. And I was like, they will literally cancel someone for like like something in my past. That's why I'm afraid of like if I ever get like super big or if any one of my friends gets super big and they like look into the past. Our generation's really fucked up. Like our generation does not give a shit about like violence or like really hard
Mhm.
topics. They will literally just say that shit whenever. So no matter who the person is, they will get canceled. And I don't understand that shit. Because
People be getting canceled back and forth.
yeah, if you get canceled for something you said when you were like 11 or 13, because most of these celebrities like that we look up to now are in their 20s, bro. So if you're like literally canceling someone over something they said when they didn't even know better,
Mhm.
that's some crazy shit. And I feel like that's gonna be like one of the leading things to like fights like in the future. There's already fights over it. And I mean like you could
You're gonna be able to cancel pretty much anybody if you dig enough. Like, I'm like people grew up on the internet, like in this generation.
yeah.
I don't.
I
Mm,
mean like me personally, like I knew like everything about the 90s and early 2000s. Like I grew up like with flip phones and like the really old TVs and like all that shit. So when
yeah,
like mother like millennials now they're like, "Oh, the 2000 kids don't know shit about this." Like, nah. I know exactly what motherfuckers went through because I grew up around that shit. We were like our hometown was so old school. I knew all that like old school tech, and we were leading into the age of like crazy ass technology. So it's not like we don't know what the fuck was happening. Some kids don't, but for
yeah,
the kids that grew up like that, shit, we know exactly what the fuck they went through.
shit.
So it's just like unnecessary to even throw that shit. Like it's just fucking unnecessary.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I don't know. Like I see no matter what video I'm watching either on YouTube or on TikTok or whatever the fuck, there's always a motherfucker that takes offense to whatever, even if it's a joke. I was like, holy shit. Like, why are people taking offense to like satire? It's like ruined comedy at this point. Like I understand some shit shouldn't be taken as
Yeah.
a joke. But when you're in
Like some things, some things I'm like, I already didn't mess with that person, but that makes them look bad.
yeah.
But like, it's usually when they were an adult
Yeah. Yeah.
already, like doing blackface, and
I
I'm
mean,
like,
yeah,
you knew better.
obviously some motherfuckers are stupid. But when you take
They're
when you take
dumbasses.
like Doja Cat for example, what the fuck has she done wrong?
Doja Cat, I ain't talking about that girl. She's trash.
Oh,
Ooh.
She said the N
Like,
word. Oh my God, she's black though. We're gonna cancel her entire race. That's literally
they're trying they're trying to cancel her for like
they're they're
being
they're
in a
canceling her.
chat with incels,
Yes.
and I'm like, all of this evidence doesn't seem like evidence for what they're saying she did. Like, yeah, she was in a chat with some questionable white people. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But like the videos don't really show what they're saying, and like it's gotten so out of proportion.
Yeah.
Like some people are like, she ate her shit, and I'm
What?
like, what?
What?
I saw that, and people are making fun of her. They're like shit eaters. I'm
Uh,
like, wait, where did this come?
oh my fucking God.
It's so fucking goofy.
And it gets. I think it's crossing the line of it's now affecting what people can like and what people can't like because like having conversations now, right? Obviously, people have their own
Yeah.
preferences, but sometimes people are really
Hmm.
scared to even show their opinion, so they just agree with you on everything. And it's like, holy shit.
True.
I know it's been around for, however long, but even like through this generation now, like this generation in particular, like if you disagree with like, oh, I think this movie is trash or whatever, you're getting flamed. You're absolutely you're stupid.
Yeah.
Like holy
If somebody hates this movie or whatever, like, okay, you could have option A, which is like civilized conversation about what parts of that movie makes you not like it. And then these people could have like a counter argument, like, this is why I like it even more. But then option B is like, so if somebody doesn't like Moonlight, like if it's just not their cup of tea, there's going to be some people in the world who are going to be like, you're racist and homophobic,
yeah
and you got to deal with
yeah
that. And like, maybe that person's just like, I don't really mess with the cinematography. It's not my thing. And they're like, you're racist and
yeah
homophobic.
like that shit that argument right there is the basis of how some people find friends or just find people to like just meet in general. And I hate it. I
Yeah,
fucking hate it so much because you don't have to be the same fucking person in order to be happy with just a friendship or
I'm
even a
saying.
relationship. You don't have to be the same person. Like that shit is absolutely crazy. Like it's because since I'm becoming an English major or whatever the fuck, there's
Yeah.
like that's literally examples of logical fallacies, like the straw man or whatever the fuck. It's just like like you're just like, oh yeah, I didn't really like the cinematography. I didn't really like the I don't know, I didn't really like that actor in particular. And you're like, oh, that's racist. That's homophobic. Like, no. No, you just didn't like that particular
No.
thing. Like that's not even remotely true.
Yeah. Like, I'll only call it whatever if they're showing obvious reasons that they don't like that they're homophobic or
Yeah.
racist. You can't just like
If
the
the person says, "Well, yeah, I don't like
I
that
don't
actor because
know.
they're gay." Okay, that's fair. That's like
Okay,
homophobic. That's when
you can attack
that
them for
yeah,
that.
that's a homophobic. But if they're like, "Yeah, I just didn't really like the
Bruh.
pacing of the movie," and then you say that shit, like, bro, like, come on. And I find it so weird that people take like shows or just like the smallest
Uh-huh.
things and they make such a fucking big deal out of not liking it.
Oh my gosh. Like I've noticed that so much in my friend group, but like I feel like my friends are
Yeah,
logical and and they use it as like a
yeah,
joke. Like my one friend, he loves Riverdale. Like he's a stan. And me and my friend Chelsea like fucking like make fun of
yeah,
him for it. But at the end of the day, it's like part of what he likes.
yeah.
It's something that he actually
At
has
the
a common interest in and everything. Like we're not gonna hate you
yeah,
for liking
obviously it's
something.
just jokes. Like obviously,
It's all
But if you're
jokes.
taking it to the point where you're gonna about to kill that person because they don't agree with your opinion, like, come
You're like,
on, bro. Like, holy shit.
oh my god.
And I used to be, I think I mentioned this last podcast, but I used to be like interested in just hip hop and R&B because that's what I grew up on. But as when I moved over
Mhm.
here, I got introduced to like rock and like all this heavy metal shit, and then like psychedelic rock and folk music and all the
Ooh.
like all that shit. And I swear to
Yeah.
God, I swear to God, when I moved here 8th grade, someone came up to me and was like, "Yo, so what music do you listen to?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I used to listen to hip hop, rap, and some R&B." And they're like, "Oh, you're that type of person?" And I was like,
What?
"What? What does that even
What?
mean? What does that type of person mean?
You're that
What
type
does
of
that type of
person.
person mean?" I swear to God,
I want to know what it means.
I don't like. At this
God
point,
damn.
hip hop has become not just hip hop. It's not just hip hop. It's like rock infusion, country infusion,
Exactly. There's
pop
like
infusion. There's
influences from
so
that
many
now.
different types of rap. Why would that be a bad thing? But speaking of getting
So,
judged basically off appearance, um, I was at my
uh-huh.
job the other day, and now they usually come inside, but now we have this curbside policy or whatever. I made them their
Oh.
pizza, and it was this old white woman, right? The old white woman, Karen. She came in, ordered a pizza, I made her their pizza, and then I took it out to her car. And then she had the audacity to say, "Oh, why did you bring me my pizza?"
Well,
And I was
uh,
like, "Huh?" And she was like, "Oh,
what?
I thought they were gonna bring me my pizza." And saying,
What?
not this as an offensive thing. Most of my, like, literally all of my coworkers are white. That's a fact. I'm like the only
Yeah.
brown kid um in my store. So yeah, casual racism at its finest there. There you go. Um
Bruh, can you just not bring her pizza? What?
and
What?
the thing is, when I gave it to her, she grabbed it out of my hands really fucking fast and then just drove off. I was like, okay. Oh, like,
Why?
bro, chill. That's that shit. See, that's the shit we're growing up in. Obviously,
I'm ain't
racism has
cooking.
existed hundreds of years, hundreds of years. But now it can just be casual. A white kid can just say the N word in the middle of the hallway and be fine. Like that. That's the shit we're on
Oh
now.
yeah.
And like no one bats an eye. At least back in the 70s, back in the 50s, 60s, people were fighting for that shit. You know,
But
now
now,
everyone is fighting, no matter what you are. And so anyone's going to get offended. Anyone's going to be hurt. And people don't know how to fucking calm down. And, you know, obviously what she did to me was fucked up. Like, obviously. Um, there's really nothing to say about that. Like, that was like one of the finest examples of casual racism I've ever experienced in my entire life. And I had to work, and like I'm high risk, you know, and
yeah.
I'm in pain 24/7, and I'm risking my life to serve these ungrateful fuckers pizza, and that's how I get treated. Like that's when you can feel some type of way. That is when. But when you are coming after a person you don't even know, like a celebrity, you don't even know that person at all, and you're just
Mhm.
like, oh yeah, she's against her own race when she just said the N word and she's black and that's her culture and she's literally South African. That's where her family's from. So that's the shit.
So like,
That's the shit I don't fucking understand, bro. Like, I don't understand that shit.
yeah. Like I don't know. If you if I could go to school and like no one fucking bats an eye when someone wears blackface, uh,
It's it. Oh, and
blonde hair, blue eyes, wears blackface, and you know it was, you know that it was like
no, and the
self-aware
funny thing
because
is, it's only gonna be one or two communities that
yeah,
go after that person. No one else is gonna give a shit.
hmm no one
But
else.
when I'm
Oh
making
my
your
god,
fucking pizza, that's when you want to cause a fucking ruckus, a
a
ruckus.
ruckus, go
And
crazy.
I was mentioning
It's
to the
because
shit.
she inside
I
too
mentioned that
long.
comment to you before about nothing is gonna change until our society becomes cyberpunk. That's lit. It's
Cyberpunk.
literally not gonna fucking change. I like
It's
for
not.
real. And like because at that point everyone will be cybernetically enhanced. Everyone will just be gender fluid or what non-binary, and there won't be like any genders anymore. It would just be like, okay, we're people. And
Exactly. We're gonna be
until that
clueless.
fucking point, literally, like it's gonna be the same for you. It's probably gonna be the same until our kids have kids, which is fucked up to even think that shit. Yeah,
Cyborg
cyborg gang. I
gang.
want a fucking camera in my arm so I can constantly be on my fucking. Uh, have you seen that shit? The fucking Jake Paul did a fucking CGI and there's a fucking camera in his arm. He was
No.
like working with a CGI artist and he's like, "Oh guys, check it out! I have a vlogging camera in my arm now." I was like, "Oh, so this is
Ooh.
what happens when people like this get the spotlight in in the celebrity little like okay, that's crazy."
That is crazy. I don't know. I haven't heard his name in a
Yeah,
while. It's been a
well,
little
he's like
bit.
stirring up. He's about to stir up the pot of controversy. I bet you like what
I feel it. I
I
can
could
smell
smell it
it.
in the air, even though I can't smell anymore.
Him and his
Yeah,
brother. Like, fuck.
one of these days he will come back from the catacombs, the quarantine, and he'll be
From the depths of
from
his
the
mansion.
Japanese suicide forest, and he'll come back. He'll be like in the catacombs of
Oh my
Paris.
god.
That
Did that family ever get, like, truly, like, peace? Did he ever pay for the
I have no
funeral? Like, I
clue.
want to know
He
the
just
details.
I don't think he gives a shit, really. And they make jokes about it too. They still make
God.
jokes about it to this day. Yeah, they're
What?
saying like, "Oh yeah, we're stupid. Yeah, we took a video of a dead body in a Japanese suicide forest." I'm like, and everyone just is like, "Oh my god, that's so funny. That's so funny." I'm like, "Oh, this is where we've gone." And not even
Is this
yeah, not even
comedy
to sound like a
now?
jaded motherfucker. Like for real, like I'll laugh at like the weirdest memes. All right, like don't get me wrong, I'll laugh at a one
Hmm.
word with a really fucked up image, and I'll fucking laugh my ass off. But for people to be
Yeah.
accepting of that type of behavior, I'm just like, oh yeah, that's cool. That's interesting.
I feel that.
I don't understand, but I mean like it, I don't know because it's
I want to know, like, the like the background of why humans are like
uh,
that. Because we could be looking at something that like shouldn't be deemed comedic and then laugh our
yeah.
asses off.
I mean, we're like this year has been like the shittiest year just in terms of the world, but we're at like a point now where the demographic is split between the new motherfuckers, the middle motherfuckers, and the old motherfuckers like the boomers. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so the new motherfuckers just do not give a shit about the earth. and they are literally, I mean, we're just doing our own shit. We're trying to make new ground.
Mhm.
The millennials hate us because we're trying to do some new shit that they couldn't do back in like what 80s, 90s. They were still like they grew up without the internet and they were like on the verge of getting to the internet. The boomers fucking hate us. They're just like these goddamn motherfuckers. They don't understand what we went through. I mean, shit.
Oh
Like
my
literally,
god.
we still like we well not celebrate, but remember 9/11. Damn well most kids like our age do not give a shit about 9/11, and that's fucked up
Yeah.
to say, but it's the truth. It's really the truth.
Mhm.
No one's gonna be like, oh
So
my
true.
god, remember back in 2001 when I wasn't even born, and
When I was
yeah,
-1.
because that's just like
Like
that was the millennials tragedy. Like our tragedy now is just this. It's this.
this
It's
at the
yeah.
very
It's
moment,
literally like lasting. It's
possibly World
yeah.
War
It's hard.
Three, but we don't know.
And the funny thing is like we're killing ourselves, and like
True.
America's supposed to be like the most amazing, opportunistic place, um, but it's not, and yeah,
It's not.
and like people are like, oh, America's such a good place to live. You're lucky to live, because people are getting raped and murdered in other countries. I mean, obviously, yeah, we're lucky to live here where we're able to, well, speak freely, but also we're just so fucking stupid to where we're just killing ourselves.
Yeah. We're
Yeah, we're
taking advantage of the opportunities until they're not even
and,
fucking
and I
available
mean,
to
look,
us
like
anymore.
quarantine is well making some of us realize, oh shit, maybe we're doing all this wrong. And then there's the most oblivious motherfuckers in the universe that are like, oh yeah, whatever. Whenever I get out of this bitch, I'm still gonna be doing the same shit. So it's like, okay,
I'm saying
I don't know.
some people are doing things totally differently. I'm just gonna say, like, I was talking about this with my friends in like in like this group call, and just like some people will be using their stuff so weirdly. Like, um, there was this one person who was like, I'm just gonna buy Gucci with my check. I don't care. And then like, okay, I guess you could do that.
Yeah, I guess
But
so.
then we were talking, yeah, we were talking about our friend who like her and her family, they all like just used their checks since they could already support themselves, and they just made this drive in Colleen where like a bunch of families in need could come and get like
Yeah.
groceries, get all this stuff for their children.
See, if I was
Like,
financially stable and I just had excess amount of income, I would give that shit away. That's what I do now, and I
honest.
barely make cash. And you telling me this motherfucker's like, oh, I'm just gonna get Gucci, like,
I'm gonna get
don't get me
Gucci.
wrong. I
Like,
love clothes. I love fashion in general. I love
okay,
I love
bitch.
fashion in general. But if someone needs my fucking help, I would try to help them, even if I don't have the fucking cash. I'll still try to
Yeah,
help them. Like some people just don't. They do not give a shit. Let's be real. Like
honestly. And then like some people I'm seeing on their stories, like, okay, goddamn, all the days are
yeah,
blending together.
because
Um,
you're not doing anything.
but yeah, cause like when I be doing stuff, I'm like, that was like 5 days ago. No, it was
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, if
But
you're consistently doing shit, then you're like, oh, now the days are going by faster. Bro, my weeks have been going by fast as
yeah,
fuck. I'm like, I don't want to go to work.
I'm
Like,
saying
god damn.
it's almost halfway through the year. I remember like New Year's,
Bro,
like it was last month.
I don't even remember
What do
my
you
birthday
mean?
this year, bro. Like,
Fuck.
that was January 9th. And now we are in, oh, we're
On
almost in
January
June. We're
1st
literally
and the
June next
7th.
fucking week, bro.
I'm saying we're almost in the 6th month, and you're telling me so much. Ah, I look at my Snapchat story, bruh. And I see myself at school, and I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, Christina 1 year ago did not know this would happen. Wasn't on
It's
her
only getting
radar.
worse.
I was
You
living
see,
my
like
life.
even the fucking presidential motherfuckers, like all the politics motherfuckers, they don't know what the fuck's going on. No one does,
I'm
and no one knows what the
saying,
fuck's going on. We're just like trying to be like, well, I mean, we could give them more money, but capitalism, right? We need more money for the government. So
we need more money. Let's open up all the
yeah, that's
stores.
smart.
Come on.
I love that shit. That's the
That's so
that's the
smart.
funniest
Big
shit
brain.
I've ever. This is like a reality TV show, and it's like getting to the point where it's not funny anymore. But for the time being, it's hilarious. Just
Yeah,
because
for the time being.
because like personally, our governor, like for our state, just does not give a shit. He just wants money. Like he just does not care about his people,
Yeah.
and that's
And people think
yeah,
he does, but like, are you telling me that all of a sudden these kids who do not like politics, or at the very least, they're the ones who are like really bigoted and they're like, I know all the politics. You're telling me they went from being neutral to him to loving him only because he was like, y'all don't need to do the star test this year.
bro.
What?
And I swear,
What? Bare
let me talk
minimum.
about these kids with politics. All right, I'm 17. Okay, my
Mhm.
entire life I've been like my personality is towards people. Like I like helping people. So I agree more with Democrat, whatever. All right, and I don't even like talking about politics. But let me say this shit.
Yeah.
If you are a Republican and you are around my age or even younger and you're a Republican,
Yep.
you know damn well that's your parents' I like ideology. That is
I'm
your parents'
saying
shit.
that is your
Like I don't
parent.
even like I don't
You cannot
if
tell
there's
me.
like if you see no problem with me, I will see no problem with you no matter what. Even if I don't agree with like what you view, like I don't care.
Hmm.
But if you are here, literally here, and you're
Hmm.
really trying to defend like this motherfucker, and you're just being like, oh yeah, he's doing really good for what he was left. What the fuck was left from like Obama's shit? Obama literally fixed most
He
of the shit.
he be
He
taking
gave
away the healthcare that he
bro.
left.
Osama bin Laden is dead. He helped
He's
the economy
dead.
get back from
Ugh.
like the housing crisis, all that shit.
Like, yeah, you're a politician. You're gonna do some fucked up shit.
Yeah,
But like the way that they saying it, they're like, he is
and
a
I
terrorist.
don't give a fuck
He
about what your personal views are. I don't care. I like
yeah.
if you are purposely trying to make me angry, it's not gonna work. Like it's only gonna be like okay, but like if you were literally
Period.
sitting here being like, yeah, Donald Trump is like the best president we've had in years,
Oh,
like
like you
like
lying
just
to yourself at that point.
just
If you're our
like
age,
if you
and
no like
that's your
legit,
parents.
you are
I'm just saying.
literally not even an adult yet, and you think you have an opinion about politics. Hell, shit. I don't even have that much of an opinion about politics, but I know damn well what the fuck is right for our shit. Like I know what is right and wrong, and what the fuck this motherfucker is doing, just worried about.
Hmm.
Oh, businesses should be running compared to oh, there's people fucking dying and doctors are having to work shifts that are like literally
Exactly.
impossible for people to fucking survive on. Like,
Doctors are
yeah,
literally dying. Like in New York, this doctor
and you're
died
telling me
recently
he's
who was doing
and
like
you're telling me he's
emergency
doing the right
room
thing.
shit.
If you ever tell me that shit, I'll be like, nah, you can keep that opinion to yourself. And I'm not even here. Like this podcast
Bruh.
is equal. It is not like oh one side is like I'm not doing that shit. No no no. This is a neutral
Yeah.
fucking ground. And if I ever get like a text or message, oh yeah, I was listening to the podcast and oh we said it was fucked up. fuck you. You live it like that shit. EM blocks. Like I do not give a fuck. Like this right here. Even though I'm expressing my opinion, I am 17.
Yeah.
I am 17. I know exactly like nothing. Like I really know nothing about politics. I just agree with what the fuck the Democrats are doing, what they're trying to accomplish. I don't care about the Republicans. I don't give a fuck about politics in general. But if you ever ask me, "Oh, are you a
Yeah.
Democrat or Republican?" I'll be like, I guess I relate more to the Democrat shit. But I mean, I don't really care.
Like,
And people
goddamn.
really get upset for you not having an opinion about politics. That's the shit that really pisses me off. Like, I'm like,
Oh,
holy fuck. Like, how are you gonna get mad at me for not having an opinion when you are literally younger than me, bro? That's what I don't understand.
yeah.
That's and not only politics, but when it comes to literally whatever, just movies, music, television, whatever. If there's gonna be someone that's always that radical, and that's this is not relating to Republicans, but I'm just talking about radical in general. If there's someone that's radical in their
Mm-hmm.
emotion towards literally anyone with a other opinion besides their own, there's always going to be fights. There's always going to be wars. Like there's literally not. It's not gonna be good at all for anyone, and that's what's happening now with
Yeah.
the cancel culture shit, with fashion, with art, with like whatever. It's
Oh my
literally
god.
happening with every subgenre of everything, and we're literally just destroying ourselves until we get to the point where we're just like, "Fuck it, let's fight! Everyone fight!" And we're basically gonna have a civil war.
That reminded me of
Food.
something.
We're
Like,
basically gonna have a fucking civil war inside our own fucking country, and that's like, to me, that's like true comedy because motherfuckers out in Africa are really
shit.
fighting, for just being able to live peacefully. Meanwhile, we're over here fighting over, oh, Doja Cat said the N word, cancel. Like, bro, like,
I'm over here questioning what I can like anymore.
yeah,
I'm like, if it's if it's a tiny thing, I will not I'll not have visual
no,
support.
it's
Like
so
I
stupid.
was just
It's
telling
so
Romeo
fucking stupid.
about it. It's like I went on Twitter and I saw this one post that I like giggled at, which was like, oh my gosh, this is so dumb. But it was like, in Cars, Kachow is the Cars version of the N word, so you can't say it. And I like
Oh
laughed
my
at it,
god.
right? The first reply that I saw, this shit was like posted 5 minutes prior. The first reply that I saw was this one girl who was like straight up serious, like so serious, and she was like, "You're belittling people who actually like struggle with
Oh
the N
my
word,
god.
whatever." And like, I was, I went from liking the tweet to like, this is still
That
funny, and I just
bro,
screenshotted it
that
and
is exactly
disliked
what I
it.
fucking deal with too. If I'm ever watching a TikTok and I look at the comments and they're like negative or like this is copied or like whatever the fuck, I'm just like, oh, maybe it's
Yeah.
not that funny anymore. And that's stupid. That's so fucking
My
stupid. Why
brain.
does my brain
That's
is
so
just like,
dumb.
oh, it's not funny anymore because people don't agree with me? Like, why? Why? That's like, I think that's just like some primate shit that we haven't evolved from.
Like, I just
Like,
want to fucking laugh
holy
at Lightning
fuck.
McQueen saying
It-
ka-chow.
yeah.
My
And then
brain.
people are commenting like, "Oh, that's not really funny." I'm just like, "Oh, maybe it isn't funny." Like, shut the fuck up, brain. God damn it. Just laugh
Yeah.
and accept it. Like
It's that innate
yeah,
part of the human that
we
was
have we
just like,
yeah,
I
we
want to
have to
go under
belong
what
to the
everybody else
the
is
group.
saying.
It's like, and I think that's
The
just it's
group.
in the person who's not like significantly a leader, but I don't know. That's like definitely some science ass shit. Like that's definitely like in our
Yeah.
blood. But I always was like, why do I find something so fucking funny, even if it's the dumbest shit? And then I look at the comments, I'm just like, oh, it's not funny anymore. Like, come on.
Oh shoot.
But
I'm sorry, the thing cut out during your sentence for a second.
I just said why it's the fuck does like why does my brain always have to conform to society? I guess is what the main idea is.
Exactly.
And I mean, I'm talking to this girl I'm interested in, and she mentioned something about the movies or shows. And I was like, okay, so I'll mention some of the shit I like. Um,
Yeah.
and I don't know. There's something about like trying to be as relatable to the person, and then you're like, wait, no, don't do that because in the end you're gonna get fucked up. And then you're like, no, brain, stop. You're
Mhm.
like, don't say that.
Yeah.
You're like, and it's just a constant fight. And I think that's basically that little small example is basically what's happening with the world right now. Is just no
Truly.
one is accepting of shit. And I think that's like really like the one of the biggest shit. And like I'm accepting of everyone, even if you're like a
Yeah.
terrible fucking person. I'll be like, okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you're just like fucked up from your childhood, and that's why you like really like fucking with people. So I mean, I won't talk to you that much, but I'll still give you the benefit of the doubt. But if they continue fucking up, I'm just
Yeah.
like, I can't really defend you, bro. Like, sorry,
Yeah.
but I literally will help someone I don't even fucking know. Like you've seen my Snapchat. I literally give my life story or like whatever I can remember from it, and I give it to
Hmm.
strangers. Like they don't even know me. I just friend people on Snapchat and be like, hey, yeah, so this is my life story. And there's like, who the fuck are you? I'm just like, I'm just a guy. That's literally all I say.
I'm just a
I'm just a
guy.
guy. That's literally all I say. And I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, I think people are too afraid to accept what's different. And it's not even
Yeah.
what's different anymore because now it's been in society for so long. It's especially, oh my, I just remember the fucking people fighting to go back to work through the quarantine, bro. That shit, that shit, that shit right there is the prime example of not being able to accept something that's different. Like,
Exactly.
obviously, no one in their
It's that
fucking no one in their fucking right mind wants to be in quarantine right now,
yeah.
like at all. Especially since most students are gonna be on summer break in literally a week, bro. No one wants to be in this shit. But it's a
I'm
virus. It's a
saying
fucking virus. How in the goddamn fuck?
you can't just
Like,
like look at a virus in the
yeah,
face
you
and
could be
be
like,
like,
oh, sorry, you don't
nah,
belong here.
I ain't messing with
Yeah,
you.
I'm sorry. I don't really feel the same. Like, you need to get the fuck out of here. I want to go back to work.
Sorry, I don't believe in
And then the
you,
same people
so
that want to go back to work be complaining about, oh, uh, I don't want to go to work. I've been working my entire life. Like, you're the one that
I,
really wanted to go back to work, didn't you, bro? Oh my God, I hate that. I saw
the
that in the
thing
news,
is,
and me and my mom were just sitting there like, oh. And you notice how it's like literally, it's a specific type of person to do that. I'm not gonna say, but it's a specific type of person that will do that shit.
yeah,
And that's not even like that's just a fact. Come on, like even if you don't agree with
that's a fact.
some of my points, even like as me as like a person in general, you have to agree that there's a certain type of person who will literally go out into the virus and be fucking waving around their flags and be like, "Oh, we need to go back to work." No, that's a
I
specific type of
hate
person.
that.
I just, people. I'm glad we live in a place where we can be ourselves, even though we literally deal with
Hmm.
racism, sexism, misogyny, all that shit. All right. I'm glad we still live here just because we have that freedom. when in other countries,
Yeah.
we'd be like fucked if we even like wore a piece of clothing off, you know, especially in like Saudi Arabia where the women are like literally dressed from heel to toe in black, and like there's in like that like entire mask thing, and they cannot do shit about it. So
Yeah.
on that part, I am thankful. On the other part, these motherfuckers are so stupid. I swear to God, dude. They're so
Yeah.
stupid. We're literally gonna kill her. It's gonna end up in a civil. Like I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now. It's gonna end with us fighting each other from all the different.
Everyone
All,
listening,
yeah.
Isaiah knows what he's talking
No.
about.
Like
Like
for real. I've
he's
I've
calling it.
been through so much to know that people will literally take it so far if you do not agree with their shit. They will know. And I know it. And if this goes into the historical records of Congress, this specific podcast episode, and then they're like, he called it, sir. We need to kill him. like,
The new
I'm
Simpsons.
saying, bro, I'm saying there's going to be so many different, well, not cults, but groups of people that just do not disagree with each other. It's going to go like the transgender people, the white alt people, the African American community, the Indian community, like all the
Yeah.
communities are gonna start fighting each other because these do not agree with each other, and that's gonna be the death of a lot of people. And the cops are not gonna be able to stop that shit because guess what? The cops are another group of people that a specific group hates. So it's just gonna be an endless fight. Cops are gonna be killed. Doctors
Oh
are gonna
my
be. It's gonna be
god.
literal mayhem. But that's what the country's leading towards, and no one realizes that shit
Chaos.
besides people that think like that. And I'm not saying like it's 100% going to happen, but if shit keeps going like this, like let's be real. Come on, like that.
If it keeps going on like okay, people have already been saying their opinions and stuff, but now like certain viewpoints that are like what is the government doing right now
Yeah,
are being so extreme and like even memes and stuff that I know that people actually resonate with it, like if that makes sense.
yeah.
Like eat the rich and fucking
I mean, listen, bro.
like
If
all
if a
that
if
stuff.
a white woman past her 50s can go up to a 17-year-old and basically just perform an act of casual racism towards me and nothing happens to her,
Hmm.
there's gonna be some shit that fucking happens, whether it be racism, sexism, whatever. It's literally going to happen. Everyone's gonna be fucking fighting, and then once that shit
It's
happens,
gonna
I'll be like,
happen.
"Oh, called it," you know, called it. And they'll be like, "Isaiah, how the fuck did you know?" I'm just like, I. It's obvious. It's obvious. And if nothing happens, thank God, thank God.
Hmm.
But if something does happen, just know on this day, 2020, all right, I called the shit. Okay, I called it.
Period.
Period. Oh my God, that shit gets me so like so fucked. It's so fucked
Yeah.
because I know damn well if someone listens to this podcast, I know someone's gonna disagree with any of the points we've made in this video, and they're gonna be pissed. And I know damn well. I already know someone's gonna text me. It may not even be a person I know, and they'll be like,
Hmm.
you're wrong," and I'm like, "It's an opinion." It's like I don't know what you want me to do.
It's it's my podcast.
It's like holy shit. Like, do you know how many people have a fucking podcast? Like, this
Damn.
is the failed filmer podcast. All right. This is I literally put the bio as just an artist discovering and discussing. All right.
So like
That's what we're doing.
if somebody disagrees, I really want to see them do like a podcast, but it's just like it's just like named after you, but like cancel failed
Yeah.
filmer.
I
And
would
it's
I
just
I
them
would
ranting
fucking
about
die of
you.
laughter. That shit would be so funny. But listen. if you want to be on the podcast and you disagree with any of my points, I will literally talk with you on the fucking I don't care. Like, I
Yes.
literally do not care. And if it gets heated, whatever. We're just literally fucking talking, bro. But if you're gonna send death threats and shit like that, nah. Like, chill.
Nah.
Like, it is not that serious. It's a podcast. It's not a definitive answer. It's not like, oh my god, if he makes one other comment that I disagree with and it comes true, I swear to fucking god. Like, it's not like that shit. I hate it so much. Oh my god. You cannot speak your mind anymore. You just can't. And like, as a kid, I would never speak my mind. I never spoke my mind, and
Same.
like I would just take it. Like, I would just be like, okay, whatever, you know. And now if I only speak my mind, I get it. People are gonna disagree with you, but that doesn't mean you have to literally lynch them. That doesn't mean you literally have to
I'm saying.
like attack them. Like, oh my god, I all the news I look at on Twitter, it's the most negative stuff. It's never nothing positive. It's always something like the most negative shit possible. And I get we're in a fucking quarantine, but why the fuck would you like? I get you have to promote what the fuck is happening with Corona, but why wouldn't you take that time to be like, oh, this celebrity did some nice things for the charity or whatever? It's always like,
Yeah.
this man killed 27 children in 1 week. Like, what? Like, like, god damn. Like, it's always been like that. Always.
You get on there. I can't, like, I hate that part of me just is like I don't want to see the news anymore cuz like of course I want to be like in touch with what's happening and get a feel for it cuz like what else am I going to do like
Yeah.
pent up in my room? But like there's comes a point where where I'm just like god damn, I don't want to see this negativity.
Bro,
And then the next thing I know, it's like something that actually happened that I'm interested in, but I'm like, God damn, they murdered
and
someone.
you know what's even more fucked up that like gives even more truth to this entire conversation? Someone, if you don't even look at the news, literally someone will fucking get mad at you for not being informed with the news. Like,
Bruh.
what? Like, when it reaches that point, when it reaches the point where someone will get mad at you if you're not, looking at the news because it's so fucking sad,
Mm-hmm.
that is when like, our society has come literally to the point of no return. Like, it's literally to the point of no return. Like, I'm glad we've made
Yeah.
steps towards equality for all people. Um, but you know, if you could just be casually racist, if you can be casually sexist without any whatever, uh, you know, I don't know that, like, there's literally no point of return. Like, if someone can get mad at you for not liking a
Yeah.
paper brand, like a specific paper brand that's not like organic or like whatever, that's like whatever to the trees, and they get mad at you. If so many people can get mad at you for a fucking if you like peanuts or not, like that shit, like
That shit, that kind of hate
that
hits
kind of hate is
different.
different.
Cause they just be like, they be, they be grasping at straws. Like, so you mean to tell me that you like peanuts, but your mom has a peanut allergy. So what you're saying is you want to kill people
Yeah.
and you're sexist and racist and homophobic. And then I'm just going to be like, goddamn. I mean, I applaud you for the effort put into that statement.
I know, like, it's just absolutely a wreck. And there's some people in our society now that will know exactly, you know, like they're future visionaries, and they'll know what to do. They'll know what to do, like,
Mm-hmm.
eventually. And I don't think it's going to be like this forever. Hopefully not. I swear to God, if it is, if I'm raising my kids through this,
Oh,
that's going to be tough. But if
goddamn.
if it does last forever, then it's really going to last. It's going to last like 50 years, 60 years. I mean, shit. Do you see how much racism
Yeah.
has lasted? It's so here. It's so fucking here. Like, bro. And like, you know, homophobia in general. Still fucking here. It's been here since fucking
Yeah.
like decades, millennia, centuries. Yeah.
I've been seeing, oh my gosh. I don't know. Some of these arguments are like, that's how you know that people are inside for so long because
They just
they're just
yeah,
spewing out things
they're
that you're
spewing
like,
out their inner thoughts. That's that's what
their
they're
inner
doing.
dots, their inner
Yeah.
homophobic
If
shit.
you speak
Cause
out your
like,
thoughts and it's just like the most negative shit, like, oh God. Oh God. And I do like stream of consciousness like type writing where I'm just speaking my mind. Not once is it like really offensive. Like it's just about my life. But if you're stream of consciousness, it's like, oh goddamn, I hate these people. These blacks. I'm just
consistent.
like, oh my God.
Like, owie, it must hurt to be you then.
Yeah,
Like, your brain's constantly just like, hate,
it's
hate,
crazy.
hate. Like, you don't have random dots like, I wonder why people stop collecting rubber
Like,
ducks. Like,
yeah,
it's just hating on people.
yeah.
Like,
Usually, stream of consciousness is it's like really
can't
silly
relate.
stuff. It's just like, oh, I just thought of this. No, if your inner thoughts are just casual racism, I keep saying casual racism, but there's no such thing as casual racism. It's just racism. Like, honestly,
It's just
like
racism.
if you're
Like, it's not even to the point of microaggressions. It goes
yeah.
past that to like,
It's just it's past the point of like no return. Like you need to look at yourself.
uh, oh my gosh. Okay. I was just like, people, okay, you know that something's wrong with what you're saying when, like, okay, the thing like that happened a couple days ago was just like people were sharing a homophobic post without any prior research or knowledge. And I was just like, that's ignorant. And then I talked about it. If you're going to reply to my post and be like, are you calling me homophobic? And I didn't even have you inside of my mind when I
People will
posted that.
assume
Then that
it's
means you
assumptions.
need to
It's
rethink.
assumptions, bro. They will assume
It's
if they
assumptions.
assume that you're talking about you.
If the
Yeah, if
shoe
the shoe
fits.
fits exactly. If they assume you're talking about them, well, it applies. It applies.
Like a couple of people asked me that, and like some of them I wasn't thinking about them, and I genuinely didn't think what they were saying was like awful. But like some people, I'm just like, what do you think, man? You said some slurs. You said some no. They're like, I'm not homophobic, but
But no,
okay
there's no but.
then
There's no but. There's like
then there's no there's
you
no
can't say
but.
that. You can't be like I'm not homophobic, but no. It's either you're homophobic or
No,
not. That's literally like I just
exactly. Like somebody was like, vets existed, or no, they were like, if vets didn't exist, you wouldn't be able to be gay because you wouldn't be born. What? People were gay before an army was even
I don't
curated.
think they don't know the history of gay people. Like they
They don't know that they don't know that Greek people literally
yeah, they were
males were
literally
like
like sex
gay and
slaves.
it was
Yeah, they were
accepted. Like
literally Alexander the fucking Great was bisexual, bro. Like
I'm saying,
they don't
oh
understand.
my
They don't
gosh.
understand like the most prolific. Malcolm X was bisexual. Did you? People don't even know that shit.
Like y'all really
Like that shit is
uh,
that hits hard. That hits hard.
that's hard.
That's why you like. I don't understand. Like it's so it's so stupid. It's so stupid.
I
Because
don't
now,
know. Like at least say your thing without like the
yeah,
amount of ignorance. Like maybe go
like I'm
research.
good.
Like
I'm good with
I
being
don't
myself,
know.
bro. Like I'm bisexual. I'm black. I'm Arabic. I'm all this shit. Okay, and I really don't let negative
Mhm.
thoughts affect me like that. But if someone ignorant is like, oh, they reach out to me, they're like, oh wow, I don't want to
Oh my
say what one of my
god.
coworkers say because he probably listens to this shit. He said it as a
Yeah.
joke, but I've heard it before from other people, and he's like, oh, you're black, Egyptian, and German, so you're basically you're a slave Nazi terrorist or something like that. I was like, yeah, there you go. And right when he said that, my boss came in and he was scared for his life. Like
Oh my god.
that's if people are not afraid to say that shit, I shouldn't be afraid to be like, oh yeah, I'm bisexual. Yeah, yeah, like like if I'm afraid to say that shit, like come on, bro. Like really,
Come on.
you can just get away with calling me that shit, even if it was a joke. Okay, I get it. Cool. It's
I get
satire.
it.
Okay, I've heard many racist jokes before. I've heard like yeah, but what he doesn't realize is I literally got called a
Yeah,
sand
it's not the
nigger
worst I've
for
heard.
my entire fucking life. Yeah, I literally got called a
But
sand nigger for my basically my entire life. And I used to be a bit big, so I was fat shamed
so
as
like
well when I was a kid. And all of this shit.
mhm.
So I get it. It's a joke. Cool, cool, cool. Like it's fine. But when you take that shit to a whole nother level,
Mhm.
that's when it's like, okay, I've dealt with this shit, but it still fucking hurts. Like chill. Like I'm here to do my fucking shift. Like, but yeah, that's what I deal with. Just being myself. And if that's what I'm dealing with, just being by my like just myself, what the fuck? Like holy fuck. And
Exactly.
like as I was saying before, I know some people are not going to agree with my opinions on this podcast. It doesn't really matter. Honestly, I'm just talking because I like talking to people like I have the same interest in I want to get into fashion designing. And so I've known uh, Christine. We'll call her Allusion. That's why I usually just call you Allusion because I think it's cool. But I've known her for like a long ass time, and yeah, I like we barely even talked when I was back in my hometown, and now that we're talking, we're like,
True.
oh shit, we're like hyping each other up about projects we're fucking doing because we're just like, oh that shit's crazy. Oh, you're doing a podcast? Let me do a podcast. Oh, you're doing this project? Let me help you on that project.
Exactly.
Like it's fire because we have the same interests and we like helping each other. And what I'm going to say at the end of this podcast, I'll wrap it up. What I will say is, if you are with people that you do not fuck with, that are constantly bringing you down, and that just do not give a fuck about you, and just don't care, how about you actually go find people that do, and just leave those motherfuckers? Because I used to never have, that type of support ever. But now I do. And when you have that type of support, that shit's crazy. That shit's like a whole nother level of love. So when you have that shit, never take advantage of that shit. Because once it's here, you never want to take advantage of that. So that's all I will say. That is the end of this episode, this hot fire episode of just hot takes the entire time. Uh, sorry if I offended anyone with any of my comments, but yeah, that is the end of the podcast. Thank you, Illusion, for joining me. And